Thank you for tuning in to the Crokinole World Cup out of Budapest, Hungary. My name is Garrett Tracy from Tracy Boards, and today we are looking at the doubles finals match between CarromWood, Alan from the UK, and Yoann from France versus the Roaring Twenties, the team from Netherlands, Xander and Joert. This match will be a race to 11 points, the first to hit that goalpost being the champion of the Crokinole World Cup doubles division. Players taking a second to get settled in. CarromWood will have the first hammer. Players taking a second to shake hands around the table before starting the match. This is something I've loved about these matches so far, is that there's been great sportsmanship around the table. Alan to take a practice shot. That wasn't a start. I was about to get really mixed up. It looks like Joert will be the first to shoot. Coming up ever so slightly short, hanging heavily over the center hole. Yoann now with a potential follow-through opportunity. And we see that Carrom's style of shooting. Again, if you didn't watch the previous semifinal match, Yoann is a professional Carrom player as well. We see that in his Crokinole play. Xander able to get the touch, but not quite able to get the opponent disc off. And Alan happy with a easy off there. CarromWood does have hammer right now, so not in a bad position. The pressure is on the Roaring Twenties to get play back to the center. This could be a somewhat difficult shot if Yoann doesn't want to hit his own disc off. He'll almost have to angle it, which he does very well, just keeping his own on. I believe Xander will be going for a double takeout, gets a single, and I will apologize. I know in the semifinal match I kept saying Sanders instead of Xander. There's not two of them. These aren't 2v3 matches, so that's my bad on a mispronunciation there. Joert now will be trying to angle in, and we saw this in the semifinal match with CarromWood. They do a great job of playing defense and keeping play on the outside when they don't need to come in. This should be an easy shot, should be able to just go through his own. He'll just want to be careful not to push too much, and that's a nice spot, although this does open the door for Xander to hit a double, do a little bit of board cleanup. It is on Joert, though, to get play back into the center, which so far has proved to be difficult. Oh, and Alan brings play back. Could be a 20 opportunity here for Joert. And an unfortunate catch at the peg. Yoann now with a open 20 opportunity. Could really solidify their advantage, which he does. CarromWood now up in the 20s Cup with hammer advantage. A lot of work now for the Roaring Twenties to get back in this round. Able to get the off, but peeling to the outside could be costly. Pressure back on Joert now to get play back to the center. Alan rolling up again. I'm not sure if he's intentionally doing that. Now, it's not a horrible spot, granted, but again, may want to be keeping play away from the center at this point. And, oh! Woo! What a fantastic shot. Now tied up in the 20s Cup because of a caught peg from Joert. Yoann keeping the pressure on, though, with an open 20, worth as much as the last shot. And a bit of a mistake out of Xander there, leaving an open board for Alan. Not quite able to capitalize. Touch 20 opportunity here for Joert up the right side of the board. Looks like he'll be leaving that potentially for Xander. Gets a double, but lines up Yoann nicely for a 20. Now, CarromWood does have hammer. They're up 20, but if they can get the second one, will have a super strong advantage with not many bullets left. Gets a 20, and it looks like that is off. Xander now to get a open 20 of his own, trying to keep up in the cup. But at this point, the Roaring Twenties will be hoping for a mistake out of CarromWood, which they don't get. That was the end of the round. We see a few shots here. We see Alan coming in, maybe when he shouldn't have, but this is where Joert made the mistake of catching a post, which really allowed Yoann to solidify the 20s advantage and take the round. Again, these open 20s mid-match are extremely critical. I've always said it's one thing when you can score a lot of 20s in a row. I know I've liked going for that record. Nowhere close to it, but it's an entirely different thing when you go from normal gameplay to suddenly you have a chance to really get an advantage in the cup. A lot of pressure in those moments, and not the same as hitting consecutive 20s. So great work from Yoann there, and we saw a lot of highlight shots. Great play from both teams so far. CarromWood now up 2-0. Roaring 20s do have hammer advantage in this second round. Keeping the pressure on with the 20s, we will see who is the first to make a mistake. Both these teams beat Hungarian teams in the semifinal round. Both of those being very close matches, especially CarromWood, who faced the Huzari boys, Mishi and Adam. That was a 10-8 game, and let me tell you, that was extremely exciting. So make sure you go and watch that one, as well as the other semifinal bout, to see how the Roaring 20s got to this finals match. Xander leaves a backboard for Alan here, not quite able to convert. Now, CarromWood are up in the 20s Cup, so a little bit of pressure on the Roaring 20s right now. They'll be needing to get play back in the center, and Joert does a good job following through there. Also doesn't leave Yoann with a lot of options here in terms of getting a 20. Could be content with a takeout so long as he doesn't set up Xander. And, oh, looks like he might have been trying to roll away, but a bit too much power. Leaves an open board now. Xander able to even out the 20s Cup. And we are back to this 20s race yet again with a lot less bullets than we started with. Joert now coming up short. An opportunity for Yoann up the left side of the board. Could be a nice touch 20 here. Oh! A misfire. Xander now able to capitalize. Takes his own off the board. But again, we're right back to the 20s race. Now, if Xander were able to keep that red disc on, if he had just touched it, he would have put CarromWood in a precarious situation. But we're tied in the 20s Cup, down to our last few shots. Yoann coming up short. This could be very advantageous if Xander is able to get this off. Not quite, but also not the worst situation here. With 1 in the 10, 1 in the 15. Looks like Xander will have a last shot. Now, Joert should be going for that 10, which it looks like he's pointing to. Leave a difficult shot for Alan. And I may have been mistaken. It looks like Joert does have one more shot to go. So we do have another round of the board before we are down to the hammer shot. But Joert and Xander will be looking to keep playing on the outside. They don't want to give the team of CarromWood any opportunities to score a 20 or get play back into the center. Now the question is whether he'll hit and stick out there or if he'll try to carve in. Carves in, going a little bit long, but he blocks up that laneway for Yoann, who's able to get the off, pushing through into the 15. 2 discs there now. A lot of pressure on the Roaring 20s now. They are very close to winning this round. But if the situation ends with 2 discs in the 15, then this will be a tie round, bringing the score 3-1, and he doesn't get the off there. Joert now has a decent amount of work to do. Believe he'll be needing, if he gets an off in a 20, he will tie this round. But if he's able to even get a double or an off, and that's not quite it, CarromWood will take this second round 4-0. Roaring 20s were in control of that round, but left a few too many discs on the board. We see that mistake out of Yoann that opened the door for Xander. Now, if he were able to touch and not take off his own disc there, they would have been in very good standing. But with the off there, wasn't quite able to keep play on the outside. And we see here, this was a turning point when Yoann was able to push and get his disc into the 15, creating a tense situation there. And Xander there, it was that error that costed the round. So very close right up until the end, but CarromWood did take the second round, and against a hammer, which has got to be a good feeling. This is a great lead to have right off the bat, putting pressure on. Again, this is a race to 11, so a little bit longer than the semifinal rounds, but a strong advantage for CarromWood at this point. They do have hammer, but Allen goes long, leaving an opportunity for Joert to up the left side, who gets to touch 20 and doesn't look like that's off. It might just be in. Yoann drains a 20, trying to keep up in the cup, but the Roaring 20's up 1 right now. And Xander playing very defensively right now, more than content to keep that red disc on the far side of the board away from Allen, who it doesn't look like he has a clear laneway at. I'm curious if up the right side through the pegs, if he might be able to at least glance it. He certainly doesn't want to miss. It wouldn't be the worst if he hits, and oh, he's able to stay on. I thought he might peel to force play back to the center. Not necessary in a doubles match. Oh, you're playing very aggressively. Going for the angle in, comes up a little bit short. Certainly no gimme opportunities here for Yoann, but we've seen him hit more difficult shots, so this could very well be a 20. Catches a peg. I don't know what happened with that red disc exactly, but it caught something and didn't go out. This could be a very good spot for the Roaring 20's. Xander is able to get that off. 2 red discs on the board, up in the cup. They are against the hammer, but if Joert and Xander can hold on to this board positioning, they will be in a great spot. Allen now considering his options. I'm not sure if he'll try to blast through that one between the pegs. It looks like he's lining up for that disc that's more in the center. It's certainly easier for Yoann to work with the disc between the pegs because he might be able to catch a peg and bounce back in. Allen able to follow through a little bit, not into the center, but still keeping play in the 15. Pressure is on CarromWood to make something happen in this round. Joert carefully lining up his shot. And might have left the door open for Yoann. It's going to be a little bit of a drop back. I'm not sure if he'll be able to get the off with it, but CarromWood will definitely be hunting for 20s on this shot. We'll see what Yoann is able to do. Oh, just short of it. Xander now could really make that mistake hurt. Not quite able to, but not leaving anything for Allen at the very least. If Allen's looking for a 20, he will be going for a follow-through. And he might be lining up for a double here, actually. Very nice. Not the cleanest, but he got the double nonetheless. Issue is, play is still on the outside now. And Yoann left with, looks like Hogan's Alley. And no way to get play back in the middle. Pressure will be on Allen to roll in, get play back into the center. And we are down to, I believe, 2 shots remaining. 1 or 2 shots remaining for each player. Xander taking his time. He might be trying to roll play away. Either keep it on the outside of the post where Allen can't get an easy 20, or roll all the way through to the far side. Leaving it between the posts, good option too. Doesn't leave Allen a lot to work with here. He'll be going through for an aggressive follow-through. Not quite able. Hits and sticks in that spot. You're now most likely content with that as well. Leaves it between the pegs. Yoann with his shot. Probably trying to catch something here. Catch a post. Able to catch a post, but yeah, bringing play a bit closer to the center now. Xander taking his time and able to get a 20. Very nice. Up 2 in the cup. Allen has an open 20 opportunity now, but yeah, I don't think that'll be quite enough. I believe Yoann has the last shot of the match, and unless Joert really sets him up here, I believe this will be it, and the Roaring Twenties will be taking their first points of this finals match. We'll definitely be trying to catch some posts here. Definitely don't want to count CarromWood out yet. Oh! Woo! Holy! And that is a tie round. Man, leave it to me to say the round was all but over. It was indeed not over. We see some excellent shots from all the teams, but yeah, Yoann took the highlight there. That is impressive. Not only was this a fantastic shot, but the pressure was on. This was do or die, and he did. Wow. That's the shot that deserves some applause. That was a tie round, bringing the score 5-1. Roaring Twenties now on the scoreboard. Roaring Twenties will also have Hammer, and Allen comes up short on that first shot in a little bit of a tricky spot. Kind of hard to decide here. Looks like Joert will be going for that slight touch, playing a bit more defensively. Again, Roaring Twenties do have Hammer, so they don't need to be going for those 20 shots unless it's absolutely there. Man, I'm still reeling over that final shot from Yoann. Whew! That better be in a reel or something. And whew! Xander with a 20 of his own hears me talking. He's like, hey, you want highlights? Here we go. Now up in the 20s cup with Hammer. Roaring 20s going for a second 20 here. And they get it with the off, back to back. We see that highlight played back right away. Very nice shot. We go on to Yoann now, left with an open board. And blast through the pegs, passing it back on to Xander. Very nice. Now with 3 20s in the cup, Allen trying to catch up, but Roaring 20s in a very dominant position right now. Not letting up whatsoever. And Yoann, again, a little bit long. Woo! Xander with yet another 20. A 4-20 lead. I don't want to misspeak and count out CarromWood because I did that last round and it did not go my way. But a 4-20 lead. Very hard to come back at this point. Joert may very well be playing defensively now. Almost loses a shooter, but not quite. And not a lot for Yoann to work with. Basically forced to hit and stick. I don't think there's enough shots left that he can afford to peel. Looks like the Roaring 20s will be playing a lot more defensively, although if the opportunity is there, would make sense for Xander to go for it, which he is, and he gets it. That, I believe, definitely seals this round. Unless there's more shots that I'm seeing, remaining of these are inconsequential. The Roaring 20s will be taking their first 2 points, their first 1 round, bringing the score 5-3. Some final shots to buff the 20s count up. And, oh! Xander reaching a bit soon. But, again, really not a bad mistake at this point. Back to Joert now. Definitely some time to practice those stronger 20 shots. Opposite hit and stick. Leaves it nicely posted. And almost gets the 20. Believe Xander now has the final shot. And that should do it. This round goes to the Roaring 20s, bringing the score 5-3, and a fantastic performance from them. Gonna see some highlight shots there from Xander. That was very nice. Also from Joert up the right side, up his right side. And yeah, they were just very aggressive, both with their 20s game, open 20s in general, and any opportunity they were left. That's gotta feel good, especially being down on the scoreboard, having such a dominant round like that. It's gotta help with the mentality. That is very good. See this final backboard. Yeah, the Roaring Twenties absolutely cleaned up this round. Joert now on with the open 20s. CarromWood will have hammer. Pressure on Yoann, who goes long, leaving a touch 20 opportunity for Xander. See if the Roaring Twenties will keep up momentum, and it seems like they will. Allen with a 20, but Joert may be rolling in. He does. Looks like he was online for that 20. Doesn't quite get it, but doesn't set up his opponent to the left. Yoann considering his options. Looks like he'll be going for a touch 20 here. And, oh, an unfortunate and potentially costly mistake. Xander has a chance to be up 2 in the 20s cup, which he is able to do. Now up 2 in the cup, Roaring 20s in a strong standing right now. Pressure on CarromWood to make some beautiful shots happen. And the tough part about being in a position like this, down 2 20s, especially against the Roaring 20s who seem to be on their open 20s game this round, is closing that gap can be very, very difficult. Having a bit of a laugh there. Joert wasn't able quite to get the off, but not the most costly mistake at this point. Yoann will be trying to follow through. And unable to get the off, does push his disc ever so slightly into the 15. Xander with an easy hit and stick there, keeping play on the outside at the very least, not leaving Allen a lot to work with in terms of shots to convert into a 20. Trying to follow through, got a lot of push on that one, but not quite the right line. Now, Joert has somewhat of an interesting position here. Most likely going for that outside disc, not to risk hitting his own. But he also doesn't want to leave an angle-in opportunity for Yoann to his left. Okay, door is a little bit open. On the bright side, it looks like that blue disc is ever so slightly blocking his path to the 20. Looks like he'll be opting for the double on the outside. A little bit of board cleanup, and oh! Loses his own shooter in the process, only getting one off. The Roaring 20s with lots of board control. Xander leaves a potential hanger 20 opportunity here for Allen. Unable to convert, rolling off the board. Joert now missing to the right side. Definitely an opportunity here for Yoann. We will see if he's able to convert here and close the gap in the 20s cup, and he is. Still some work here for CarromWood to do. Down to 20, but they do have hammer, so certainly not out of this round yet, but Xander keeping the pressure on. Allen will definitely be trying to roll in, probably catching a peg to get into the 15. He did hit the right post to get back into the center, but unfortunately not at the right angle. Joert, again, missing that 20. At the very least, not as nicely set up, but looks like Yoann and Allen are talking about a double opportunity here. And this is a double and a 20. That'll definitely be a highlight reel. And I learned from the previous semifinal match of CarromWood never to count them out for a beautiful shot. Xander with 2 discs in the center. Does leave a 20 opportunity here for Allen, but... And he gets the double with it. Very nice shot. It seems like that was inconsequential, though. The Roaring 20s still up by 120 in the cup. They will take this round, bringing the score 5-5. Now tied up for the first time since the beginning of the match. A great comeback from the Roaring 20s. We see a few highlight shots from both teams. Again, both teams on with the pressure. Just small mistakes seem to be allowing the other team to get a lead. And once they get it, they hold on to it. But CarromWood did a great job fighting back into the round. Just couldn't close the distance quite enough to get back in, costing them 2 points and tying up the score. We're just about at the halfway mark to the goal post of 11 points. And we see this very nice double from Allen here. This was the last shot, so it was inconsequential, but still a beautiful shot nonetheless. The Roaring Twenties will have the hammer of this round with Yoann to open up, firing through, leaving his disc somewhat between the posts, so no gimme opportunities here for Xander. Looks like he was trying to angle in for that 20, but going a little bit long, he doesn't leave Alan with a lot of opportunities here. Looks like he was aiming for that post. And Joert will be shooting to that disc at the far side. Beautiful hideaway from Yoann. I'm not sure if it's far back enough that he could go around the post. That could be difficult to pull off. Looks like he'll be blasting through the center. Certainly a difficult shot. And don't want to rush anything because this is the finals match of the Crokinole World Cup. Yep, blast over the center. Very nice shot. Loses his shooter, but at least deals with that red disc down in the 5. You're giving thumbs up to Xander's shot there. So he leaves his disc between the posts. Alan almost able to bounce back there, but now leaving an opportunity for Joert here, who, lips out, passes the chance on to Yoann to the left. Debating his options. It does look to be a little bit far back from the 20, so not a simple backboard. Could be a drop back. And the way it's positioned, probably going to be a touch 20. I don't think he should be trying to get that disc off. Opts to go up the center. And yeah, a little bit too far back. Lips out of the center hole, going to the far side. The Roaring Twenties most likely content to keep play on the outside here. They do have hammer. There's no 20s in the cup, which means they are at a slight advantage if they can keep up this defensive tactic. Allen trying to roll in, loses his own shooter, and the Roaring Twenties now have an opportunity to go up in the 20s cup, which they do. Now a very strong advantage and pressure on Yoann, who follows with a 20 of his own. CarromWood will be hoping for a mistake out of the Roaring Twenties. But again, at this level, hoping for a mistake is it's a tough strategy. Allen just lips out of the center, leaving a touch 20 opportunity here for Joert up the right side, which he gets, solidifying the 20s advantage. Now up 2 in the cup with hammer. Little over halfway through all the shots of this round now. Back to this 20s race, and the Roaring Twenties absolutely unrelenting. Allen and Yoann trying to keep up in the cup, but Joert lips a little bit far there. This could be the chance for CarromWood to get back in. Yoann most likely will be going for a slight follow-through for the 20. He wants to be... I wouldn't be going for a touch at this point, this late in the game. Then that leaves the door open for the Roaring Twenties just to play defense for the remainder of the shots. And loses his own shooter. And with that 20, I believe Xander has sealed this round. Yeah, with that red disc on the far outside. That's the final shot there. And that is at the Roaring Twenties. Now, with the lead for the first time in this game. What a turnaround. Woo! We see some very nice defensive play from Joert here, keeping it to the outside. Allen was able to get that. We call this the half hole, going halfway over the 20 hole so that you don't have your disc flying. Very nice shot. He did have to peel a shooter, but definitely not bad. Again, this is a very defensive match. The Roaring Twenties only taking their 20 opportunities when they were absolutely there and able to convert when they were. So very strong play, both offensively and defensively, from the team from the Netherlands. See that? Even more shots from Joert there. Going to this round, CarromWood do have hammer. Xander to open up. Keeping it up with the 20s. I think we saw the best 20s performance from the Roaring Twenties that last round, and certainly unrelenting as the first mistake comes out of Allen. You're taking some time to consider his best option. Xander pointing out perhaps what his best course of action is here. Joert going up the side and leaving a somewhat difficult touch 20 opportunity here for Yoann, who, catches a post. That is an invalid shot, leaving an open board for Xander. And nice. Learns from his earlier mistake. Leaves his disc on between the posts, not leaving any opportunities for Alan. And you're more than content to keep play between the posts here. A difficult shot for Yoann now. Looking at some options, looks like he's hoping to catch a post. Yeah, the Roaring Twenties up 2 in the cup now. While they're against Hammer, that is quite the advantage to have. And Xander looking to expand that advantage. Keeping it up with the... I haven't seen Xander miss an open 20 in a long time. I feel like it's been a while, and it's definitely putting a lot of pressure on CarromWood. They absolutely cannot afford to leave him with an open board. An open 20 opportunity here for Yoann now, which he's able to convert on. But unrelenting, keeping it up. And Alan, weird catch of the disc there. Short of the line. Looks like they pass a wax cloth over to deal with that. An unfortunate shot, but nonetheless, play goes on. Joert solidifying the 20s advantage, now up 4 in the cup. I don't think that mathematically CarromWood are out of this round yet, but that will be a difficult gap to close at this point of the round. And Alan misses, and I believe if Joert scores this 20, that will seal the deal for this round, bringing the score 9-5. Doesn't get the 20, but again, without seeing the exact number of shots left, I am not sure if CarromWood are still in this round or not. Gets the opponent off, but it looks like he lost his own shooter. Xander now most likely to play defense. Very nice. Leaves Alan absolutely nothing to work with, and I believe that's it for this round. Xander and Joert will be taking this next round, getting a stronger lead, bringing the score 9-5. Final shots now. Yoann with a chance to practice the open 20s, and that is it. Roaring 20s take this round. We see some highlights here. That unfortunate catch at the post there, which gave Xander an opportunity. And I really like we saw Xander improve from his previous mistake. I think it was the second round where very similar situation, and he hit his own off, which was costly. We see him adjust here and leave a disc between the posts, which I believe Yoann was able to get. Almost got a 20. He was pointing out that post there to bounce back, but he ended up losing a shooter, just a bit too much juice. We're going into what could be the final round. The Roaring Twenties are 1 win away from becoming the Crokinole World Cup doubles champion, so we will see if they are able to pull it off. They do have Hammer, and the first open 20 was missed. On to Yoann now. Pressure on CarromWood, and doesn't get the off. Almost drops to 20 for the Roaring Twenties. Xander now more than content to play defense, rolling his disc away to not give Alan more options of discs to work with. But Alan works with what he has. Going up in the 20s cup now. Definitely not out of the woods as Joert scores a 20 of his own, but certainly keeping pressure on to make sure that the Roaring Twenties are working to keep their lead. Yoann might be going for a bold double here. Oh, and catches a post. He at least gets that first one off, but leaving Xander with an open board may be costly, and it is. I'll need someone to remind me in the comments, or I'll have to look back and watch. I actually don't remember the last time Xander has missed an open 20. I think the last 3 rounds he's hit every single one that he's been left with. Joert comes up a little bit too close to that 20s cup. A little bit of a hanger here, but certainly a doable conversion for Yoann. And doesn't get it. Doesn't get the off, leaving it in the 10. And Xander doesn't get the off either, leaving a backboard opportunity here for Alan, who is unable to convert. Joert content to keep play on the outside, not leaving Yoann anything to work with. Now I'm curious if he'll try to go through his own to have some kind of action off the posts on the inside for at least one of his discs. It is risky, and it looks like he'll be going from the outside. Probably blasting for that double there. Certainly a difficult shot, but what he needed to go for. Xander taking his time now. The Roaring Twenties don't need to play a 20s game right now. Most likely probably discussing how to roll away. Very nice. Rolls out, catches a post. Absolutely takes away any option for Allen off that. Has to work with the disc in front of him. And Allen almost gets it. A little bit to the right of the 20. Great attempt from him. Oh, what a dagger. Solidifying the advantage in the 20s Cup. The Roaring 20s may have just sealed this round. Yoann unable to angle in. Beautiful shot from Joert. And Xander unable to convert, but again, players now down to their last shots. CarromWood need to get their next 220s. Just drops in. Joert can seal this now if he scores this, and he does. That is it. Last two shots, inconsequential. The Roaring Twenties are your Crokinole World Cup doubles champions. A final 20 from Yoann. We see Xander in Xander fashion scoring a 20. That is it. The Roaring Twenties are your 2024 Crokinole World Cup champions. Here now we see some of the highlights from this final round, and I think just a brutal consistency on open 20s from the Roaring 20s did it. Just absolutely playing defense, dominating on defense, and then taking any opportunities they were left with on the board when they were given. See, yeah, again, Xander, I think we saw him miss 120 in that final round. But again, someone please tell me, I think Xander's open 20 average in this game was absolutely insane. We see Yoann going for this tough double at the far side of the board. Certainly what he needed to go for, but again, losing his shooter. And on the next turn, we see Xander with this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful roll away. You see here, shoots, catches a post, rolls to the far side, taking that option completely away from Allen. Beautiful, beautiful defensive strategy. People newer to the game of Crokinole, take notes, because that was fantastic. We see Allen almost able to angle in, and I believe this was a shot from Joert, the dagger in the round that put all the pressure on CarromWood. That was fantastic. I believe it was that shot that pretty much sealed it. We have some applause, final shakes of the hands. Fantastic work from the Roaring 20s. Again, this started off with 14 teams, which we're going to see on the screen very shortly. The Roaring 20s made it to the semifinal round where they beat the Fury 20s, Arpad and Nikki, and then beat CarromWood in the finals. Fantastic performance from Xander and Joert. Thank you again for tuning in to the Crokinole World Cup out of Budapest, Hungary. My name is Garrett Tracy from Tracy Boards, and make sure to stay tuned in to Chevados Crokinole as more coverage will be coming your way. Thank you for tuning in, and make it a great day.